Hi kids, my name is Emma Young and I'm an artist. You've written down some wonderful questions in a very colourful poster to ask me, and the very first one is, what kind of artist are you? Well, artists are all around us. They are people that make things with their hands and using their minds. So when you are listening to music, that's the work of an artist. When you read a book, when you're watching TV and movies, they're all made by artists. When you put your clothes on in the morning, the house that you live in, your school, your plates and the bowls that you use to eat, they're all made and designed by artists. The type of artist that I am is a glass artist. So I make my artwork out of glass. And I do this because the workshop that I use has a furnace which has melted glass inside. And that's really, really hot when glass is melted. So we don't touch it with our hands. We use lots of tools to get the hot, goopy glass out of the furnace, and we can blow it and shape it and make different forms out of the glass, and that becomes our artwork. The next question is, can you show us some art? So I'm currently in my studio and I've got a whole lot of artwork packed into boxes, but I've also got some out of the boxes to show you. So one thing that we can make out of glass are vases to put flowers inside. So I make some vases that have different colours on them, so they look really pretty. Another thing that I make is this, which I call a penny pincher. And here's one that I use at home. I use it as a money box. So we can put some money in there. Here's another one of the things that I make. I call this a fruit choc bowl. Have you ever had a fruit choc before? They're a yummy little chocolate made here in South Australia. So the next question is, why did you want to be an artist? That's a really good question, because as we're growing up, adults and teachers and people around us ask us, what do we want to be? What do we want to be when we're an adult? I didn't really know what I wanted, but I liked art because, as I mentioned before, it's all around us. So when I was going through school, and then once I graduated, I went to university and I studied an art degree. And I met lots of really great friends and lots of interesting people, and I learnt so much new information. So that's how I became an artist. I learnt how to make things with my hands and how to come up with new ideas. So that's when I knew that I wanted to be an artist, when I was an adult. The next question is, do you like being an artist? Of course I do. I love being an artist because there's so many other artists that are my friends, and I love my friends. And it makes me very happy to make things with my hands. It makes me really happy when people buy my artwork and have it in their homes, and it makes them happy. So I really like being an artist. Did you have to learn to be a fancy artist? Well, thank you for thinking that I'm fancy. And yes, I definitely did have to learn. I had to go to university, which is the school that you go to when you're an adult. And I learnt about all the different kinds of art. And I had a go at doing all the different kinds of art. And then I decided that making artwork out of glass was what I really loved doing. So then I had to go on to another type of school and learn how to make things out of glass. Because when you learn a new skill, it can be pretty tricky at the beginning, but the more you practice, the better you get and the more you enjoy it. So I've been a glass artist for about 8 years now, and I keep learning every single day and I enjoy it more and more. Are you a bad artist or good? Well, I sure hope I'm a good artist. Some people might not like my artwork, but some people do like it. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm happy and I'm enjoying what I do and making artwork makes me happy, I hope that makes me a good artist. How hard is your work? Blowing glass can be pretty hard. Depending on the size of the work you're making, if it's a big size, it can be very heavy. You got to have muscles. You have to work in a team to make things out of glass. Just like learning any skill, it's very tricky. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. So even though it is difficult being an artist and being a glass blower, it still makes me happy at the end of the day. Do you like pretty patterned things? I love this question because I love pretty patterned things. You can tell by my glass that I make. It's all coloured and patterned. I've got some with stripes, some with spots, some that are one big colour, some that are a couple colours. And then with what I wear, my clothes are always very bright and colourful. My earrings. There's people that make jewellery and I buy their jewellery because it's nice and colourful and patterned. I think it makes me very happy when things are colourful and patterned. So yes, I like them a lot. This is a good question. Are you good at drawing? Well, when you think of the word artist, probably the first thing you think of are people that paint and draw. That is definitely a big part of being an artist because you can't just create something like this without actually having a drawing of it first and getting an idea of what you actually want to make. So I can draw and I use drawing in the process of making something out of glass. I don't know if that means that I'm good at it. I don't do drawings to just sell the drawing. I use drawing as part of the process of making my artwork. Can you draw? Do you like to draw? I think drawing is a really handy skill to have. I know that Miss Young is very good at drawing. Does your art have to be good so people like it? Great question. I guess it depends. If you want to sell your artwork to make money, then some people have to like it so that they'll buy it. Some people want to be an artist and make artwork purely because that's what they love and they don't want to sell it and they don't care if other people like it. And that's wonderful. I think it's really important to like what you're making. But to me, it is important for other people to like what I make. So I do have to be good at it so that other people will like it and hopefully buy it because this is my job and I need to make money to continue to live. So I do hope that my art is good so people will like it. Next question asks, were you born as an artist? Ooh. I wonder. I don't know what the answer is. Because when I was a kid, I didn't know that I wanted to be an artist. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't born as an artist. I think that every single one of us has an artist in us because we love to think about how things are made and perhaps we like to draw and paint and make things ourselves, even if it's out of cardboard or paper or sticks or sand. That's the artist in you coming out and enjoying yourself and expressing yourself. So I think that we're all born as artists. The last question I've got is, what is your favourite piece of art? Oh my goodness, how tricky is it just to pick one? Well, there's lots and lots of famous artists all around the world that make amazing work, and there's big sculptures in town squares and public artworks and big paintings. But I think my favourite kinds of artwork are things that my family and friends make me. And I get special little birthday cards from family and friends that are handmade. And I think my particular favourite one is this one that I've framed. It was a card painted and drawn by my friend Kendall. And it looks like a Vegemite jar. And I thought that was pretty cool. She made it exactly for me. And that's my favourite piece of art. What's yours? Thank you for writing in your questions. I've very much enjoyed reading them. If you're interested in watching some glass blowing videos or seeing some photos, maybe you can ask Miss Young to show you some. And maybe some of you in the class will become artists when you grow up. My name's Emma Young and I'm an artist, and thank you for watching.